Terry, you're supposed to hunt me at 10 different bands at one park, not 10 times on one band. You confused this rule.
Kilo 8, Golf Quebec.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. And this is going to be a great stream, I know, because we're going to be talking about all the cool stuff that I'm going to do in Canada. And we're going to get that started in just a second after we thank the Patreons, because these guys are absolutely awesome. And one of these guys is going to be the lucky one to actually sponsor my trip to Acadia next year. I feel it because James is sponsoring this trip to Canada. So one of you guys has got to step up next year and do it to Maine. I know it. Anyway, also a shout out to the YouTube members. And speaking of YouTube members, I'm going to give you guys an announcement just in a second. Then we go to the end of the third quarter. That is how you guys finished up in the Adventure Club. Thank you guys, each and every one of you. And your drawing will be when I come back from Canada, because I do not have time to do it and get something ordered for you guys before then. But we will be doing that drawing when I come back. So all of you guys will be eligible in the top 2 spots, including our guest tonight. We'll have 2 spots in that drawing. And this quarter, already starting, looking the same for that leaderboard. Kilo 4, Lima Indias, right back at it again. And that's how it looks this quarter so far. And it's 2 days in. Also a shout out to the third quarter PZN Challenge guys. 5 names have hunted me every day this year. And they're all, besides maybe Terry, regretting that they did it, I think. But they're still in there. 5 names. And you guys will have your drawing as well when I come back from Canada. All right, Dan, do your thing.
Terry said he's going to go for the 3-peat in 2025.
Terry has no choice but to go for the 3-peat.
I heard it straight from the voice's mouth. Welcome, James of the North. He's also in the chat right there. Victor Echo 3, Juliet Lima November. Had to remember your Canadian call sign because I got used to calling you by your U.S. call sign when you were down here. Everybody else in the chat, Liz, Echo Romeo, good evening. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, always in here. Victor Echo 3, X-Ray November, Sierra Stroke Alpha.
No.
That's
Stroke Truffle Butter.
Truffle Butter is in the house. Georgia Parks and Propagation. That's wrong, Chris. Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar. John, good to see you. KANIV. Larry, always good to see you. Kent, Kilo 9 Alpha Echo. Michael, Eastern Standard Time is in the house. Mike, 88KB, and my chat just jumped. Me, I'm in the house too. KO4 FSZ Antennas, Kenny Adams, what's going on? KC5 MJE, Ronnie, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu. Romeo X-Ray is in the house. What's up, Mo? Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo Bravo. Josh Kilo 4 Lima India. November 4 Charlie Whiskey Bravo. He's in the house too. Always good to hear you. Can't help but hear you. Roger Curtis KB3 Country Music Television. Smoke Signals, Mr. Izzo. Hey, I got it, man. That's a Whiskey One former young guy. I was thinking about that when the intro was rolling. How do you like that, Izzo? That's pretty good. Larry, Loudmouth from Hammertown. Good to hear you. Victor Echo 3 Lima Bravo India. Andy Cowley, as always. John Carr, Lifehack Labs. Mark, Victor Alpha 3 Hotel Echo Sierra is in the house. Brian, X-Ray November Sierra Alpha. Frequency Frontiers, KY4 GM, and long live regular potato chips, says Izzo. But barbecue is where it's at, my friend. Happy Hump Day.
And actually, out of those couple, there's a couple people that you said that I actually need to give shout outs because, I'm really big about CW people. I'm really big about youth on CW. And our good friend Steven, Mr. Uniform Delta Victor, actually wanted to give a shout out on the stream, and I'm going to do it for him. He would like to thank the Roses for really paying attention during CW because he did a November 8 question mark and worked one of them. And then after that, he did a November 9 question mark. None of them came back, and he worked a November 9 station, and then he did a November 8 question mark and resumed. And he said they paid very good attention, and he really appreciated that. So shout out to them. And also, shout out to Mr. Truffle Butter, Victor Echo 3, X-Ray November Sierra. Because, I always design my own stickers, but I typically get somebody to help me touch them up and, add anything that I'm having issues with and stuff. And Brian helped me out with the new sticker for the Bike Grove. And a couple of Patreons are looking at a couple of copies of that right now because I added the writing onto it. But even though they're not out yet because the Bike Grove hasn't happened, there's going to be T-shirts, and I might have one on.
There he is.
I'm just saying.
And speak of the devil, my boo up there, he's on 7041 CW, sent in a super chat. Thank you very much. But while we're on the subject of Steven, let me say something. I don't know if we've covered this or not. It's been a hectic last 5 days for me. So if we've covered this, I'm sorry. I'm looking over on my other monitor here. He has recently surpassed 10,000 contacts on CW. Right now, he's at a little over 10,900. So awesome work.
Good deal. And I'm going to say the majority of them are on QRP too.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you very much for the super chat. If not all of them might be on QRP. So.
Dead air.
add another $9.99 for forgetting your mic again. Yeah, he forgets his mic quite a bit. Anyway, James, welcome back. You've been on the show many a times, so everybody knows you. But how's it going, bud?
All right. Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo Bravo. Which James needs to check DMs?
Yeah, we have two Jameses on here.
I'm guessing it's the lesser because I don't have a DM.
Let me pop some names up here just in case anybody is not familiar with James of the North. He's our northern protector.
If you're not familiar with me, do you even POTA?
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. We got so many robes planned for when you're up here, James, that I wrote an app to actually plan them because I got tired of doing it by hand. So it's been a little crazy. We got some pictures to show and lots of plans to talk about. I'll start off by congratulating one of my fellow three amigos, Tom V3THR. He hunted his 7,000th park last night or this morning.
Nice.
So he's getting up there.
What is 7,000? Is that the ocelot?
I do not remember. I'm still working on 3,500. I don't remember what's above that.
I think the ocelot's 7,500 because I just got that, but it's slow going, man. Once you get above about 5,000, oh my gosh, it's like a grind.
It is though. That's because it's powered by barbecue chips, brother. I guess everybody knows by now that a couple years ago, when Izzo first mentioned potato chips, I drop shipped a case of snack bags of barbecue chips to him.
Yeah. The first interaction I had with him in barbecue chips was he was actually eating them on a live stream. I guess as a bet or something. You could tell.
Yeah, he lost a bet or something. I'm pretty sure.
Every time he choked one down, he was like,
yeah. I'm pretty sure he gargled 100% alcohol and lit his mouth on fire afterwards.
All right,
yeah,
so really
72 bags.
Really quick before we move on, Mo wanted me to let everybody know that he is the regional ambassador for a disaster relief organization called Humanity First, and they have teams deployed in Georgia and North Carolina. And I'm going to drop a link in the chat if anybody wants to check that out and help out with that as well. I got you, Mo.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with that too. I spoke with him on the phone earlier today, and he was looking for the EOC contacts in the area so he can reach out to them and get in touch and make sure everything's good to go. And if you're living under a rock somewhere and don't know what's happened, turn on the news or browse news.google.com or however you decide to get your news, and keep your thoughts. And if you're the praying type, pray for those in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and Southern Virginia. They went through a lot in the last week. I just recently got power back on after 4.5, 5 days. So we got lucky down here. A lot of wind damage, and I feel worse for the people up around the Asheville and Boone, North Carolina areas. They are getting it bad up there. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers. If you hear from a ham that nobody's heard from in a while, post in our Discord. So if anybody asks, we can say, hey, he or she are still kicking. They're just having a rough time right now. So keep everybody in your thoughts, and hopefully everybody will turn out okay.
All right, there we go. I finally got that thing. For some reason, there's a stupid help bar popping up and getting in my way. But anyway, James, man, tell us what's going on.
Well, an overview of the schedule. You're going to arrive here early afternoon on Saturday, and I'll give you a little bit of a rest and maybe feed you. And then we're getting up bright and early Sunday morning and helping out with the community event. That's it's CIBC. That's one of our big banks up here. CIBC Run for the Cure raises money for breast cancer awareness. Everybody's in hot pink shirts, walking, running, jogging, whatnot, and we go out and do communications and just kind of help volunteer. It's only about 3 hours, and the route happens to be the Great Canadian Trail, Charlie Alpha 5082. There might be some POTA shenanigans around the event.
For those of you in America, that's Charlie Alpha.
So that's Sunday, and then you're going to be presenting at our monthly club meeting on the Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to have our first real adventure. Obviously, we'll go to parks every day, but the first real adventure. And Dan, if you want to pop my map up there.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Beautiful map.
So,
Look at all those parks.
So the first real adventure, we're going to take James over to Niagara Falls so he can see Niagara Falls, and we're going to catch a few parks on the way there and on the way back.
$50 if you throw them in.
No, that doesn't cover the fine. So a couple of these parks that none of the three amigos have either, so the route is a little bit funky to catch a couple of parks that are useful to me, not just the new guy. But yeah, we're gonna see the border in Niagara Falls, and right up here at this one. Oh, it doesn't show my cursor, but just north of the falls, there's a place called the Brock Monument, and it happens to be a very nice overlook. Yeah, Brian can throw his barrel over.
Is Niagara Falls a park?
No, not on the U.S. side or Canadian side. On the U.S.
Oh,
side,
man.
it is, but
See,
on the Canadian side, it's not.
See, I was gonna say, you know how Carlos does parachute mobile. Y'all could do barrel mobile.
Barrel shoot.
So this is going to be our first real adventure on Wednesday. This is, gosh darn it, I hid my window. I forget how many parks we're going to hit, but it's like a cheetah. I think it's 15 or something, a leisurely day trip. But we're going on Wednesday because starting on Thursday, that weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving. So starting Thursday, Friday, traffic through the city starts to get a little nuts.
Canadian Thanksgiving? Does that mean I'm getting Thanksgiving dinner?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. So then on the weekend after that, let's see, which one is it? No, not that one. Maybe do this one. Yeah, this one here. Nope, one more. There it is. Sorry, the delay on YouTube is throwing me for a loop. This actually, this is about a 5-hour round trip just because where it is. My home is off the top of the map. But this endpoint here, you see down at the bottom, all by its lonesome, that's a place called Murray Overlook. And it's a ravine spot, and you can't get to it to a vehicle. You have to park. I want to say it's about 3/4 or 1 kilometer walk. So it'll be catch a few parks on the way down, go and take a nice little hike. James will get some nice video there, and we'll bang out some contacts and then hit some parks on the way home. So I've planned for 10 parks on that one, just because I like to get certificates. And then see what else. This is an easy 15 we can do pretty much any day of the week. The lower orange here where the red line starts is my place. So we just go up and around to the next town and back over, and it's a nice little loop we can do. So we have a cheetah sitting in our pocket whenever you're bored, James. Let's see. And then the big plan is, I guess the second full week you're here, we're going to camp at a place called the Pinery. And I need to find the right, not that one, this one. YouTube catch up. There's no gas involved, Mike. But thank you for the $20. That'll go to diesel. So this spot here, it does show my arrow. This is the park called the Pinery. We're booked in there. We're going to be there for basically a whole week. And we'll get there. We can activate the park in the evening. And then the next morning we'll get up and do this little 25 park rove. And then
little 25 park rove.
Yeah, like it's nothing. It's like a drop in a hat.
So without including activation time, this is about 8.5 hours of driving. So this is a day. And then I gotta find the next. And then the next day we're gonna go again. The Pinery is here, the dark blue one. We'll catch some of the parks right nearby and go up a little north. And then that's a 20 park rove. And then the third day, let's see if we can find it. Not that one. No, I don't want to throw that one yet. Where is it? Did I not save it yet? Oh boy, I'm missing one. Anyways, we have a third day. Oh, that's because a couple of the spots were out of whack. Yeah. So there's a third day where we're going to go north up the coast. It's really nice to go up the coast. It can be quite windy up the coast of the lake. Let me get the right lake here. Oh, wrong one. This lake here is Lake Huron. It's quite large and can be quite windy. But if you follow this road up the coast, there's quite a few parks we're going to hit, and that'll be another 20 park rove. So we have a 25, a 20, and a 20, 3 days back to back in the middle of the month. And if James is still alive after that, the next weekend we're going to do this.
These rows are sponsored by Hamstick and Tim Hortons.
Yeah. So this is the big one. I have never attempted this, but this is going to be a 50 park in a single UTC day rove.
Nice.
Which will break my record.
It will also break mine. So
It actually it breaks everybody's.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to try to do it.
It might break POTA.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the other two amigos are available and we can do this a 50 park row for operators. So that's the hope, is all this stuff includes all the three amigos. Yeah, Discord only. It's the weekend after Joda / Sport Your Parks, Brian?
Might be. While we're waiting on that, I had a couple questions for you about.
Okay, go ahead.
About your Canadian Thanksgiving. What is the traditional Canadian Thanksgiving trimmings? What do you eat?
Same thing as Canadian Thanksgiving or U.S. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, turkey and all the trimmings. Let's see.
Brian said it was moose and all the trimmings.
Oh, I've had moose stew. It's delicious. I love it.
I have heard of people doing moose if you have access to moose.
Yeah. The only other relevant thing that I saw was, are you going to post a list of all of your parks you're going to activate on Discord?
There's going to be a list of all the parks, and I'm going to try to have a list of what day we're planning on doing the roves, and so people can also watch out for obviously when we're doing the speed rows, obviously we want people to participate, but we can only take 10 or 12. So especially with 4 ops to fit it in, we're gonna have to speed talk. So so, and there's I'm working on planning a few other rows, a couple 5s, a couple 10s, just stuff we can, depending on what we feel like doing in a given day, we can just kind of reach into the stack of plans. And there will be another day where we're going to go and activate a park. Let me share my other screen, Dan.
I love this that he says, we might throw in an extra, 5 or 10 or 15 here and there. And here I am looking at the map of the parks around me, and I'm lucky to do 10 in a day.
Yeah,
we are lucky. This ain't counting that I'll still be activating every day. We're not doing these reps.
And I mean, your PZN challenge people still need to get you.
Right.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll I have a park that I can get him to the trail about 7 minutes from me. So that's going to be the new Chief Logan for him while he's here. If all else fails.
Larry from Hammertown wants to know how long you're going to be in town, James.
I fly back on Halloween.
It's 3.5 weeks. So one day, I'm trying to coordinate with Larry LBI. One day we're going to go pick a park here in Hamilton. You hear that a lot on the radio. We're going to try to pick a park in Hamilton where anybody in the Hamilton area, Larry and Dave and some of the other ones, they can just come and we can just be there for a few hours and they can just come and stop by and say hello and whatnot. So we're going to try to plan something down there, and there's quite a density of parks, so we'll be able to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14, 15 to 20 park rove and still have a few hours to kill in the afternoon.
And if you have earned a PZN challenge coin, I will have them with me, because we all know Terry's too cheap to mail to Canadians, because I'm just kidding, Terry. But I will have the Canadian coins with me. It's a pain in the butt to mail to Canada. That's why. But I will have those coins with me if any of you guys have earned them. And I know there's several of you that have.
Yeah, Dave, it's likely to be the Monday before Halloween. So that would be like the 20, what's that, like the 25th or 26th or something? Dave's one of those guys that you have to remember he has 2 call signs. He hunts with one and he activates with the other one. So a lot of people don't realize it's the same dude. And by the way, James, it's the 28th. Thanks, Brian. Hamilton will probably be that Monday. I've got it booked off. So I am working my day job while James is here. Obviously, I'm taking the 1 week off when we go. When we go camping and do those 3 crazy rows back to back. And I have a couple other days off, but there'll be some days where Brian X and S might come and pick James up and go do something, or THR's gonna come and pick him up and take him to do other things. So there's gonna be lots of random stuff.
I would highly recommend you do not let him go without a chaperone.
Yeah, we don't let Americans unescorted here.
Yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah. So
Escapes will be planned.
Yeah. I'll have to get rid of him some days. I can't spend every day with this guy for almost a month. That'll be nuts. Yeah. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I'm not thinking of something better than fart sniffing zebras to call you now.
No, that's his trademark.
My hiker is actually custom, Chris. It's got my call sign in it.
Well, if you ship one really fast to James, he can stuff it in his bag and bring it to me.
He probably is forgetting that part. But
Right.
you mentioned the PZN challenge, and since we got a lot of people in the chat, I'm gonna ask a question, because POTA is not a contest, but James is a contest. He's always a contest. So I've got to do some kind of Canadian challenge for you guys, and this guy from the north wanted me to say you had to get me at 100% of the parks, and I know that's impossible. What percentage of parks would you guys think would be feasible for a Canadian challenge coin?
99.
So I'm taking ideals.
75.
So are you saying a percentage of activations or just unique parks?
Percentage of parks.
Okay, because there's going to be quite a few parks. Like we have a lot of like twofers that are like the same trail, and there's a bunch of different parks along the trail. So like,
right,
there's going to be a lot of.
I know you should make. Ronnie stole my idea. See, the Zulu was thinking you should make it your number, 83%.
I like Brian's answer.
105%.
105%.
I mean, I was thinking either 83% or 75%, to be honest with you. I think 75 is still going to be a pretty good challenge for people to get to.
It's still going to be hard. It's still going to be hard because and the reason I'm making it a percent too is because when we're doing these bigger rows, those are 12 and outs. That's so. Yeah. You got to think about that it needs to be a percent that.
Now, if you want to be really strategic about it, and you don't have a lot of time, pay attention to the furs that he works, because that'll up your percentages a little bit.
And
it'll only up them once, though, because a lot of those are furs I'll be doing duplicate times.
Yeah. And
then there's the weekly parks that I'll be getting during the week that I mean, there might be one park that I do 20 times while I'm there. You don't never know.
Yep. So I have a couple things to add to that, James, if you want some interesting things. First off, a lot of the parks we're going to be doing, like especially on the 50 park speed run, a lot of those parks we're going to have plenty of opportunity to hit them in more leisurely runs. We can that 50 park run is basically the most convenient set of parks that I can map out, starting and stopping at my house. So a lot of those are obvious ways we can, some of those are ones Brian and Tom are going to take you to. Some of those are, we're going to do something for Support Your Parks weekend, which is after we get back from the Pinery. So there's going to be a lot of parks. There's going to be multiple opportunities to get them. So I would go.
Are you saying 83% is a doable percentage for somebody?
I would make it 2 levels personally. I would make it 75% and then give us something a little special to somebody who gets 83% or better. Okay,
so 73% And if you get 83% or better, something better. That's probably what we'll do.
Okay.
We don't do 5s around here.
All right, Curtis. Since it came up,
The all dressed ones.
Here we go.
There you go. The all dressed ones.
well,
They're all dressed in green
barbecue.
screen.
Barbecue and all dressed. I see them.
holy crap! What's with that? I'll just turn off the background. Who cares?
So you just
So
disappeared.
for Izzo and Curtis, these are on my shelf right here by my computer. So when I need a quick snack, I don't eat a lot of chips because no teeth. That kind of hurts the gums. But
we all know he better eat them before I get there because they were.
oh, don't worry. We buy them by the case because the kids take them in their lunches. So we always have, and that and puffy Cheetos. The kids eat those ones up too.
The crunchy Cheetos are better than the puffy Cheetos. Tell me I'm wrong.
The flaming hot crunchy Cheetos are better, but again, very hard to eat.
Well, it sounds like you have a literal hoop ton of parks you're gonna hit.
I'm gonna answer Izzo really quick. For me, if I start 8 a.m. by 8 p.m. before the end of day, I won't say 9 p.m. By 8 p.m. 30 parks is possible. 20 parks is a walk in the park, no pun intended.
That's not just Canada. That's easily done in America too, Don.
A lot of places, yeah.
Not
But here that the 15 park row, the Cheeto, we can just pull out of our back pocket whenever we want. It's only an hour and 25-minute drive. So factor in, even if you stop for 20 minutes to activate, that's still an afternoon for 15.
You have good park density when you can do a lion rove and stop for lunch. That's the way
Lion
I
row,
look at it.
you can stop for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're blessed here. But Canada's rule is I mean, I've said this before on streams. Canada's rule has a lot more aggressive conservation and park laws, and they have had for a lot longer. So where the U.S. a lot of the parks are being clawed back from something else. They're creating green space, whether it was industrial or something else. Canada protected a lot of land from the get-go, and there's nothing. It's never been anything but crown land or green space or what have you. So I don't know if you guys hear that, but the dog's going crazy in the kitchen above my head.
Us Americans, we'd rather put an oil rig down than a park.
Here's one for you. Let me find it really quick, and then you can go back to the map. Speaking of oil rig,
Brian said, "Good luck activating all parks in Ontario."
So I'm going to share again.
Well, I mean, I could just throw that out there like James tried. He tried that with me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll come down and we'll activate West Virginia in a week." I'm like,
We could. It would be hard, but we could do it. 7 days
in a helicopter. Maybe.
No, we could do it.
He did.
I actually mapped it out. It's possible. It would kill us.
Don't feel bad because he did the same thing here. He goes, "When I come down to Georgia and stay with you for a couple of days, we should just activate all of Georgia."
Yeah, but then we were both so freaking tired. We're like,
right.
Screw it.
I would be willing to say you couldn't find all the parks in West Virginia in a week.
Although I have you. You know where they all are. So you were talking about oil rigs.
Yeah.
The first commercial oil rig in Canada, we're actually going to that park.
That's a park. Holy crap.
It's a historic site. Yeah. A federal historic site.
That is
It's one of those ones that probably, it's a federal historic site, and that's run by Parks Canada, but it probably shouldn't be in POTA, but because it's in the system, it's
a rare park with only 8 activations. So yeah,
can I
as of last week.
All right, it's still going to be rare,
Can I run a net while we're there?
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. I like to run nets sometimes, and it's funny because I recently what net did I run? Milk Dud. I ran a Milk Dud net.
Milk Dud on stream last week.
Yeah. I run a Milk Dud net. I really know this has nothing to do with Canada, guys, but I want y'all to say that I'm probably going to do another butter net because if you guys want to just literally blow your mind, go over and check the Nutter Butter official TikTok page and watch their videos. I don't know what's wrong with this company, but no wonder their cookies are so good when their minds are that warped.
I love Nutter Butters.
They're not
Yeah,
bad.
watch their TikTok channel. It'll warp your mind. Anyway, back to business.
Kyle wants to know who is the mommy.
Kyle's the mommy.
I think that would be you, Kyle. Yes, sir. Yep.
I have no context for that question.
Kyle's
Yep.
everybody's baby mommy.
Yeah, Izzo, for the bigger rows, since especially the 50, they're going to be kind of crunched for time. So it's going to be, 13, 10, 11, 12, 13 and out. And
No, there will be no 10 shit. Bull.
probably more than likely Discord only because I can't spot on POTA, especially for the rarer parks, and have to deal with those pileups. So.
Dude, I can't say is this frequency in use on the road. They'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh no, we'll have our friends on, and they're just gonna be chatting, waiting for us to show up, and we're just gonna say a park number and a call sign, and bam, there comes our 12 calls.
It'll all be spotted in Discord though.
Winner chicken dinner right here. The CW man is eating a Nutter Butter now.
I like Kyle's idea. Looney Tooney net, since
Yeah.
we have Toonies and we have Loonies.
There you go.
Wait,
And of course, I'm guessing, James. I'm guessing we're going to do some interesting shenanigans for shenanigan streams while you're here.
oh, I guarantee it.
I mean,
matter of fact, my very next shenanigan stream is in Canada.
yeah.
right.
It's
I mean, I can't believe how soon my trip to Canada is. So I guarantee you guys can't believe how soon it is. It's literally in like 2 days, I will be in the air.
Yep. John said
3
we'll
days, 3
we'll
days.
keep the frequency open for you, and I'll do the best I can from here. I know in the middle of the day, 40 is going to close up, and I'm not going to be able to hear you. But when I hear you,
Yeah.
I'll get you.
yeah. We got a couple of guys in Hamilton that are really good about doing that, and now that the radio is mobile, we can leave the ham stick on, and so like whoever's passenger princess while I'm driving can keep the frequency going too. We have some options, so.
And just so you know, guys, on those big logs, on those big rows, I normally am not the person that logs. So please do not send me the emails asking me for the logs. When I get them, I will send them in.
I should write a little app so that Brian, after we leave our park, he can just drive the log over to the app and it'll show up on a webpage for everybody.
There you go.
Hell, if I had the backpack Starlink, it's not available in Canada yet, but if I had the backpack Starlink, I would just set up on the truck and we could just live stream the logs to the web.
Greg wants to know what band you're going to use the most here.
Well, morning and evening is probably going to be 40. But yeah, I mean, during the day, we're going to have to probably go to 20. Because while we will work each other on walkie-talkies in some of the parks, we will not do that for activation count.
It's
No,
reasons.
that will not
So-
be included in the 12 and out.
It's
yeah, no.
reasons. See, it's reasons like this, Brian, that I don't get in the log very much because you can't spell.
It's all right. Here's one for you. I'm gonna call out Tom THR, who usually logs when he and I go out together because I'm usually driving and he usually logs. I just happened to be in the POTA database doing a query, and I found some entries from him from January 2023 where my call sign was Victor Echo Juliet Lima November.
Close enough.
Yeah. So
I mean, you don't need a number, right?
So unfortunately, there is a Victor Alpha 3 Juliet Lima November, but they do not participate in POTA and don't seem to have any contacts by any club, any logging or Facebook thing or any like field day stuff I can find. So there's a number of places I've been logged as Victor Alpha, and I know they're me because they match up with my notes. And I'm just, oh man. And the thing is, a couple of them are countries that I need for my entity count. And it's like,
Right.
I'm going to have to email it. Like, yes, I'm an admin. I could go and fix it, but that's not fair to everybody else. So I'm going to have to email the activator and say, hey, by the way, in this log, would you mind fixing my call sign?
This log from 2 years ago. Do you mind
Yeah.
fixing it?
Because now I finally figured out why I'm missing a couple of countries. And I found it. I found this the other day accidentally because I finally got Cuba. Remember, I mentioned on the stream last week that I had worked Cuba on 40 meters. And I worked Cuba before, and again, it didn't show up. And I went and looked, and the guy's logs were in. And so I went and checked. Sure enough, when I look at his activation log, it shows a Victor Alpha 3 Juliet Lima November. So I sent an email.
But here's my question though, and you got to give an honest answer. When he called you back, did he call you back as Victor Echo 3, or did he call you back as Victor Alpha 3, and you were so excited that you got it?
No, it was
yeah.
It was Victor Echo. We actually he messed up the Lima November several times, and so I heard the Victor Echo multiple times. Now to be fair, Spanish-speaking Latino accent, Alpha and Echo over the radio can be very similar, especially to somebody who has hearing problems. But I'm quite confident that he said Echo multiple times. So
because I can't tell you the people that have went into my log, and I confirmed their call 2, maybe even 3 times, and they said yes every time, and then that call sign not exist and get deleted from my log.
And you say their name back to them, so you had to call them by the wrong name too.
Yeah, I know.
You know, that's another reason why I say people's names. We went over this in the chat not long ago in a private chat, and the 3 reasons why I call people by their name is 1, it's a double, triple check that I got the call sign right. Because if I got your call sign right and your name wrong, well, if I got your call sign wrong and your name wrong, and I call you Chris and your name is Bob, and you still say Roger 59, now it's definitely on you. You know.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you know you say you're 5'9" in Georgia, and my call says Indiana, and I say, so just to confirm that call was, and I give that call, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
But when a lot of people are out of town and stuff like that too, I understand that. But a lot of times I'm like, okay, so no name came up. They're in a different state. I'll check it when I get home. Oh, look, this call sign don't even exist. It's not even a license.
Yep.
Delete.
I won't even delete it. I'll just still send it in. If I just log what I hear, I don't care if it exists or not.
I was sorry about that. I was telling Tom he need to pay taxes. He's activating right now.
And the best one is when they do it on CW, because you know I'm not the greatest receiver in the world anyway. So if you send Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, and I send Whiskey Delta 5 Delta Alpha November, and you go 5N in, 5N in, guess what you got logged as?
Absolutely.
Whiskey Delta 5 Delta Alpha November, because you answered to the 5. So you're not a good receiver either.
You know, Dan doesn't actually do CW, right? You know that.
No, I just hit the button.
Yeah.
He don't actually talk either.
Yeah, I hit the button on my little handy dandy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got fancy controls.
I may be one of the only people that Dan actually uses his microphone to break a pile up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because everybody else gets his voice recorder.
Now
I get something like
bubblegum. What makes you think
peanut butter parfait?
What makes you think that right there is not peanut butter parfait? Hey, you never know. You have to say peanut butter parfait the same way every time, or you just never hear it. You know.
He's going to do that intentionally now. You know that, right, Jason?
That's right.
Yeah. So he is going to do that intentionally, and we're going to ignore him. No points for Dan. I was going to say earlier when you're asking about the percentage of parks, I had a couple other ideas for you. One is you're probably going to end up getting kilos at a couple of parks. Are you going to do anybody who's your kilo contact at any given park?
I don't know.
Some of those are going to happen by accident. They're going to be real hard for you to track, like the couple of the areas and a couple of the trails, right? There's going to happen, but.
Well, here's the thing. If POTA is working correctly for me, which it never does. I do keep track of that stuff, and I know when I'm going to hit something and when somebody's going to hit something with me. But most of the time, it doesn't even work for me. So
You're telling me POTA's broken?
for
That
me,
can't be. That can't
for
be.
me, for me,
No way.
for
What?
me, and for me, and my big sis
No.
Carrie, and there's a few other people who have too many awards, and you guys just can't seem to vote it unless we hit refresh 9,000 times.
It's not too many awards. It's too many opt-to-ops. That is the only problem.
What do you want me to do? Tell people to stop hunting me? Because it's not going to happen.
No.
No,
Don't tell
I'm
people
gonna
to
I'm
stop
gonna
voting.
drop the opt-to-op report for people that have more
Yeah.
than certain number of opt-ops with people.
And then you're going to get an email from me every week. This is why opt-to-op report came out because I used to email you every week saying, "Hey, can you give me the list of the people closest to this amount?" that is exactly why opt-to-op came out, because James got tired of that email.
Yeah.
He can say it was for the good of POTA, but it was for the good of James.
That's not wrong.
So.
Man,
So you know what? I never made that announcement that I was going to make earlier either for the YouTube members. So every year for the past 3 years now, we have done a Patreon Christmas party. All our Patreons are invited to it, and it's a really good time. And we do a gift exchange as well. And some of the Patreons, a good percent of the Patreons do that. And I'm going to extend that this year to the YouTube members as well. So if you want in on the gift exchange, here's the only problem. You need to message me before tomorrow evening, because I'm drawing names tomorrow evening. But I will put out something when the party is and all the other stuff for you guys as well. But if you want in on the gift exchange and you're a YouTube member, message me before tomorrow evening, and I'll give you all the information on how it works.
It's October, and you're talking about Christmas already, dude.
Yeah, it's October, and people have to have time to get gifts shipped to people and stuff like that. And
all I need for a gift exchange is somebody to come and do my day job for me. I still get the paycheck.
Well, here's the thing.
I can fix POTA.
Here's the thing. You're saying it's October and you're talking about Christmas. Where am I going to be in the month of October? In another country. I'm not going to be here working on Christmas party. That's what she said, Dan.
Dan, are you muted?
He's just doing it.
So how interested are you in keeping your day job after somebody does your day job for you? That's the question.
Well, my last day job, when I interviewed with them, I said, so what you're telling me is if I do my job perfectly, I'm going to automate everything so well that you're going to keep paying me and I don't have to come to work.
Wait. James, I'll tell you what. I'll do your day job for you while I'm there.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
I will. You're going to be fired within the first hour I do it, and then we're going to do more roads because you're going to be off work.
No, we're not, because my truck's going to get repoed the moment I miss a payment. There'll be no roving.
Hopefully, you've already paid it for October.
Yeah, my wife probably has. I don't know.
You'll find out soon.
I'll find out.
I
don't see my paycheck. You guys know how this works.
You'll be in the middle of a 50 Park Road and the repo man will back up to you.
And then I'll step out of the car and said, by authority of the king, you cannot repossess this until after Halloween. And he'll have to step away.
Come back November 1st when I don't care.
Yeah.
Come back when it's not an international incident.
Yeah, I gotta say, in Canada, they're not nearly as aggressive about repoing vehicles and stuff up here as they are in the States. It's just a different thing. But
if any of the Canadian repo companies need something repoed while I'm there, I'm really skilled in that. So if you can hit me up. I'm good on QRZ.
No, I'm good on the Z.
Terry, which James can join the Mounties?
I think he means West by God, James.
Terry, I don't even want nothing to do with you in the sentence with the word Mounties in it.
That's a fair point.
And by the way, Dan, I am more west by God than this one is because I'm from California. You can't get much more west than where I'm from.
That's true.
And stay in the contiguous United States, anyways. You go to Alaska or Hawaii, you go way farther west. But
you're from California. That's more west by devil.
So
that's fine.
So Kyle throw this out there like he has experience. 90-day grace period on repos. Is it the same on hiker trailers?
Well, you know what? It is a 90-day grave period in West Virginia a lot of times. I've been shot at many a times trying to do repos.
Yeah.
So, James, is there anything you want to? I'm planning a bunch of stuff, but the only thing you told me you really wanted to do was Niagara Falls. So,
well, you know, total Canadian domination. You know, the normal. I want to get up there and
I know he wants to do Niagara Falls, like you said, but he take him somewhere, even though you're not gonna like it, but he needs to eat some poutine.
Poutine, yeah, that's fine. That's easy.
I told you I'm gonna try it. I have no problem trying it. It's not like it's mayonnaise tin.
True.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I like fries. I don't mind cheese curds. I don't mind gravy, but you combine them together and it's absolutely disgusting to me.
Here's the thing. If it was fries, cheese curds, and white gravy, it would be better, I think.
Well, we could make that here. I got white gravy.
White gravy's better than brown gravy.
I agree.
So I may go up there and change the way poutine is made in Canada. That might be my goal.
There's
you might have to have your what do you guys have, ministers or whatever?
The minister of poutine.
Premiers,
yeah. You might have to have your premiers come down to do a poutine meeting with me.
Larry has a good point here. Do a little bit of sightseeing while you're over in Hamville. Got over 100 waterfalls over there. So.
Larry, how many of those waterfalls are in Poda Parks as well?
A lot of them.
Okay, then we're good.
Mark will definitely do some 2-meter 440 when we're in.
Now, what do I want to do? I want to meet as many Canadian Poda hams as I possibly can. So, if you guys see us spotted at a park and it's not a road, because don't waste your time trying to come out to a road because we'll be gone before you get there. If you see us spotted at a park, come out and meet me and hang out. And I'd love to meet everybody that's hunted me from up there and stuff like that. So, that's my big goal, is to meet people who, hunt me, who watch this channel and stuff like that. That's the big thing. And of course, to get a crap ton of parks and maybe steal your moose. That's, about the only goals I really have.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, but I don't think a moose is going to fit in the overhead compartment on your trip home.
You'd be hard pressed to get a full size moose in the cargo compartment.
I got a question for you, Dan.
Uh-oh.
What kind of TSA agent do you think is going to try to stop a man walking with a moose into an airport?
Good point. That is a good point.
He better have a lot of backup,
especially if he's Canadian, eh?
Yeah, especially if he's holding up by the kahunas, walking it down through there.
That's right. This is my moose. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
That's right. I have searched Delta's rules, and there are no rules on Delta that says you cannot bring a moose on the airplane.
There's no rule that says I can't fly with a moose. What are you talking about? That's funny.
So,
yeah.
Now, if I tried to ride it across the border, they would probably stop me. But flying it, nah, I don't think they'll give me an issue.
I don't know who Interstellar Starman is. But
I'll take it to the check bag section. I'm like, can you check my moose?
Private flights on biz jets. Sorry, I'm sponsoring, James. I can't afford that.
I wonder how much they charge you to check the moose, because isn't there like a weight limit and you pay so much, per 100 pounds over your bag limit?
Yeah.
It probably costs you a fortune.
Over 50 pounds, they start charging you.
Yeah, it'll probably cost you a fortune to check a moose.
Well, the moose probably don't weigh that much because they make the thing poop every 5 minutes to make a new park. It's probably skin and bones.
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, sounds like an awesome trip up there you got planned, I might drop in unannounced. You never know.
An average male moose can weigh 1,300 pounds, by the way.
That's a lot of luggage fees.
And they can walk over an average person without any problem. They're a lot taller than, they're not giraffes, but they're a lot taller than a lot of people think.
They're definitely going to need to sit in an exit row.
we can go to Larry LBI's house and let me hunt a station from his house. That way they can say, "My God, James, you were loud."
So my wife is apparently watching the stream upstairs. She just messaged me and says, "Can you imagine a crate for a moose for flying?"
See, she's already on this. She's with me, James. Your moose is history. She's like, if he takes the moose, that's the end of his parks.
It is a service animal. It's his emotional support animal.
Emotional support animal. Yes, sir. I was just about to say that. That is
the rack on the moose won't fit through the aircraft door, but they can't tell you can't bring it if it's a registered emotional support animal. So by the way, tucked in the rear view, because I have a cap on the back of my truck, so my rear view mirror is completely useless except to look at the ugly people in the back seat. Brian, I have a moose stuffed in the rear view mirror, so I do take my emotional support moose with me everywhere I go.
Listen, when we did the Delaware Rove, they brought me a unicorn, and they said that it would do the same thing that the moose did. And I have fed that thing. I've did everything in the world. It ain't pooped a park yet.
So. Izzo, my wiener dog is taller than Kyle. Moose is definitely taller than Kyle. And considering how short I am, Kyle's the only person that I can truly look in the eye, slightly down at him.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So, by the way, when you meet Dave, James, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Papa, that dude's like almost 7 feet tall. He's probably only really like 6'3" or 6'4", but like he is not a short person. I knew that because I'd seen him on video a lot, but the first time I met him in person, I was like, "Holy shit!"
He could probably walk over a moose.
That's the fun thing about going to meet all these people that's hunted me for the past 3 years, because I have a picture in my head of what all of them look like, and I know none of them look like what I think.
Never the same.
That's always the fun game to play.
The only person I have ever met that looked in my head the way his
I already know.
No, it's not Arnold. No,
I already know.
Is James of New York, KB2 FMH. I had a mental picture of him and how he looked from his voice, and it was spot on when I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've met one too, and he's in the chat. Whiskey 0, Charlie Golf Charlie.
Yeah.
He was everything. He looks exactly like I expected him to look.
Yeah.
But Terry looked pretty much how I thought he was going to look. he was just missing the white panel van.
Well, that's because we paint a picture of Terry on this stream.
That's true. I might have been assisted.
Oh,
my goodness.
We kind of assist people with knowing what Terry looks like.
That's true. Well, this hour has flown by. A lot of great information about your Canadian road for sure. And hopefully we'll get you in a lot of the parks up there, and at least 73% of them.
Yep. I'll put the video out I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do, 73%. And then I'll do a bonus for over 83.
Well, we'll write a quick script for you, James, so you can keep track of that number, and maybe
because I'm not doing that by hand.
Maybe put it on the web so that everybody who's interested in tracking can see where they're at and know how aggressive they need to be as the
Speaking-
weeks go on.
Speaking of stats like that, tomorrow my video drops for September. It's actually one of the better months for this year, which is still one of the worst months if you can put it to compared to last year. But the bands are starting to come back around a little bit, I think. So it's better than last one. Not in unique park wise, but next month unique park wise will probably equal more than this year. So,
Yeah.
other than that, I am heading over to After Chat, probably with these two clowns here and a lot more people, and we'll be talking more about this Canadian trip and any other crazy shenanigans because it's After Chat and we go crazy like that. And hopefully, all the Patreons will be there. And if you're not a Patreon and would like to become one, and check out After Chat, you can go over to Patreon and try a free 7-day trial and then message myself or Dan so we can give you that benefit, because I will not know if you sign up for a free trial. Just ask that guy down there because he did it and I had no clue what he was talking about when he said, I just joined.
But yeah, you're getting money from me every other way. I don't need to give it to you through Patreon. By the way, if anybody wants to give James some spending money when he comes up here, I'm going to feed him and make sure he's got a roof over his head. But anything extra, he's got to spend the big Canadian dollars.
I will need to buy some moose feed for the trip back, probably, guys. So
that's true.
So anyway, we're heading over there. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight and the super chats, and we'll catch you on the air tomorrow morning. And don't forget my video at 4:73, everybody.
See you guys.